Good evening, I'm Richard Ray. We are getting our closest look so far tonight at the fertilizer plant explosion site and the nearby homes that were damaged. New video inside the blast zone shows some of that damage. A memorial service, meanwhile, for firefighters, EMS personnel, others killed in Wednesday's explosion, is now set for Thursday at 2 o'clock in Waco. The service will be held at the Farrell Center on the campus of Baylor University. The death toll remains at 14 with more than 200 people injured. The mayor of West says 10 of those 14 were first responders. The state fire marshal's office says all fires have been extinguished at the explosion scene now, and the remaining fertilizer tanks are not a danger. Firefighters have also pinpointed the point of origin of that explosion. Meanwhile, more people were able to go home today. Fox 4's Natalie Solis is in West. She spoke with some of them. Good evening, Natalie.
Yeah, good evening, Richard. It was actually a little eerie to go back into this neighborhood. I was there on the first night of the explosion, and it was just strange to be there, especially on this one particular street. It borders the plant, and these folks can actually see West Fertilizer from their front yards. Some of them were in the middle of dinner when this blast happened, and when you see their houses, it really is just incredible that they survived.
Oh, is that clock right? Are we?
Actually, yes, it is. We got 5 minutes.
We gotta get out. Okay.
West residents trying to beat the clock, frantically gathering their belongings to get out before the 7 p.m. curfew.
Just heartbreak.
It's overwhelming. It's all right from the outside, but you're going. It's too late.
Scott Tacker and his wife Jennifer ride off Main and Spruce.
Since you're already tagged and we don't have to mess with that.
A bombed out looking West Fertilizer, a stone's throw away from their house, where their 4 children often play.
We had pizza on Wednesday.
Scott got the call Wednesday evening from his young son.
My son called me and said, "Dad, the fertilizer plant's on fire." He said, it's bad, we should leave.
Fortunately, they did. Next door,
I've been so worried about you.
83-year-old Jimmy Polanski.
Come look at my bed where I sleep today.
Polanski moved in more than 50 years ago, before West Fertilizer. A cut on his head, a bruise on his shoulder.
Hell, nobody ever thought about that plant blowing up, I don't think.
He was home when the blast tore through his living room.
I was at the table, I opened a can of Beanie Weenies. I was going to eat them, and they're still there.
Still here, and so is he and his neighbors.
He's lucky. The good Lord was with him. That's all I got to say.
I'm just glad my family's alive. They were right here, and you could see how close we were to it. And the grace of God, nothing happened to him.
Well, Scott Tacker says they did find one of their dogs, but they went today and they were hoping to find the other dogs. He says, unfortunately, they had no luck. And the older gentleman, Jimmy, he was able to salvage a few things, but he says 5 guns were stolen. Actually, all of his guns appear to be stolen. Richard?
Wow. Natalie, you mentioned Zone 2. We just got some dramatic new video from there today. Site's pretty controlled. How's it working for the media? How are they deciding who goes in and when?
Right. Well, let's go ahead and look at that video because it is pretty incredible. Everything has been very controlled here, including how that video was captured. Authorities let in a small group of journalists today into Zone 1. That is the hardest hit area, but only for a short time, only to take a look. And that is the video that you're seeing there. Now, residents, that's an entirely different process. They have checkpoints allowing residents, only those who live there, to go in. And they have to be out by 7 p.m. That is the curfew, and that lasts until 7 a.m. We were able to go with them, but sure enough, at 7 p.m., law enforcement asked everyone to get out. Richard?
Compelling video, compelling stories. Thank you, Natalie Solis, live in West tonight.